It's Rachel and Sarah again, and here's one of our boxes that we're going to make today. As you can see, it's just got some DSP and some ribbon wrapped around it. And like we said earlier in our introductory video, this was in the Occasions mini catalog that just came out.
Yep.
And it's absolutely adorable. But hey, why stop at a box?
Right.
Sarah, why don't you make a card?
Let's think outside the box, Rachel.
Outside the box. Did you see what she did there?
Yeah.
So we're going to think outside the box, and we're going to make a card and an envelope. And of course, you can't have a naked envelope.
Right.
We don't believe in nakedness here.
We don't. Well, we're not prudes. I've been to Europe.
Yeah, me too.
So.
But still, no naked envelopes.
Right.
But what about a scrapbook page layout? This would be a nice little element on a scrapbook page.
Or a frameable.
Or frameable. What about Studio 52, our new product that we're coming out, that we're kind of developing with Stampin' Up! Products. Be sure and check that out. We'll put a link below. And I'm going to jump right in first, though, with the box and sort of how to put it together. So if you're gonna stamp on it, you want to stamp first and then put it together, because it's really hard to stamp on a box when it's put together.
Yes,
it's difficult.
Not a good thing.
So you can see that this is kind of the largest tab right here. So you're gonna put that in first. Then you're gonna go to your sides and sort of your medium ones, and they just kind of pop together. And then the big one just kind of pops in, and then you have a beautiful little...
Easy peasy, nothing easier than that.
We're gonna leave that alone right now, and we're gonna jump right on over to cutting some paper. So you're gonna take your piece of DSP that has the little hearts on one side, and sort of this geometric...
Yes, that's the stacked with love.
Stacked with love.
Right.
And you're gonna cut this piece, and remember, you don't need to write all this down, it's all in the PDF that we'll have a link for below. And you're gonna take your stacked with love hearts, and you're gonna cut this to 1 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is gonna be our box element. And then you're gonna cut another piece at 1 1/4 by 2 1/4, and this is gonna be the piece that goes on the card. Okay? And I'm gonna grab my snips, and I'm really gonna just eyeball it. Now, this paper is directional. My hearts are upside down, my hearts are right side up. So you wanna make sure that when you're cutting your little flag here, that you have your hearts going in the right direction, because otherwise you'll have upside down hearts, which maybe you want an upside down.
That was a beautiful cut, Rachel. Let's see that again. Let's do an instant replay.
Side up. So you want to make sure that when you're cutting your little flag here, that you have your hearts going in.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. On your 5 1/2 by 1 1/4 piece, you could actually score it if you would like, and if you want to score it, it's at 1 3/4 and 3 3/4, and I've kind of done a little score mark here. Or you could just kind of center it and place it over your box and just pinch it around. Either way works, but I know some people prefer the scoring.
Yeah.
And we also, if you look at our actual sample, we have a little flag here, so we'll do another instant replay.
Watch her come.
Oh,
she's so gifted!
Okay, and so you're just cutting a little notch out of there. You can see really well how that triangle comes out.
Don't be nervous, just
do it.
Master the paper. You're in charge.
Yes. You
Part
be
of a lion. There you go.
You be the boss of that paper.
Yeah.
So now we have sort of our little embellishments ready. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to jump right into some stamping. Skip it over. So I'm going to grab my white scraps, and I'm using sort of the little hash mark heart. And remember, with our inks, these are our beautiful...
That's from the You Plus Me, yes?
This is from the You Plus Me.
Yeah.
And these are our beautiful clear mount stamps, and these ink pads, they're very juicy. That you don't have to really pound on it.
Yeah.
No, tap, 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 stamp. Tap, 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 stamp. It's very simple.
Sometimes you can do 2 stamps, 2 taps.
Sometimes.
So you just, there's no real number.
No, it just depends on the stamp and how much solid area there is. I'm going to pull in my note card, and I'm going to use my bone folder to get a really nice crease there. They come already pre-scored, so that's really nice. Easy. I'm going to take my little flag here, and I'm just going to use it for placement, because I'm going to change out my stamp to the You're Sweet.
From the same
stamp set, You Plus Me.
I'm
going to ink that up. Sometimes I like to test stamp it on another piece of paper and make sure I'm getting some really good coverage. And I'm using this just as kind of placement here, because I want to make sure that I'm getting it straight. I also have to make sure I don't have it upside down, so that's always a nice little tester thing. And if you look at the card there,
it's kind of down and to the right. So she's doing it, she's placing it, pressing a little bit.
You don't need to wiggle and squish around.
That's bad
down
idea.
And up. Okay.
And then it is. And there it is. Beautiful.
It's a little lower, but I think it's fine. Now we're done with our ink. So we're going to set those items aside. This is basically why you need the scraps. So we're going to just kind of fussy cut out these little hearts. Ta-da! And then we're going to add a dimensional onto this. And with your dimensionals, with the Stampin' Up! Ones, they're these honeycomb dimensionals. Those actually will fit fine on the hearts. But what I also like to do is, because I don't like to waste anything, you can cut all these little extra border pieces around the side. So be sure and don't forget that. I'm just going to use my snail here. And then I can adhere this.
That in place.
I'm just
Gorgeous.
going to line it
right
up
at the top of the card.
right
No
here
worries.
at the top. Then I'm going to take my little heart off of my dimensional here. And it just gets placed right there. And we love the dimensionals because it just gives a little bit of lift there.
Yeah, a little bit of a shadow. It adds a little bit of dimension. It's nice. Dimension.
Dimensional,
Right.
get it? So we also love glitter. So here's another way you can just make that pop. Put a little dazzling diamond, some two-way glue
stop
on
it,
there.
you.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, we love to do that kind of stuff. We also need one more little heart here, so I'm going to fussy cut this out really quickly. We do have a lot of heart punches and a lot of heart dies that you can...
There's one, is it the tiny accents?
The itty bitty accent
it has a heart in it that is almost a match, but not quite.
It's not quite exactly.
So we opted to fuzzy cut, but you could easily
not.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put your DSP on here and then attach it to this flap, because then you can't close it.
They'll never get to the treats without ruining your artwork.
And if you put it down here, then they're going to have to tear it in some way to get it open. So I am only going to adhere this part and this part to my box. A little bit on these feet. Make sure you're putting it on the correct way.
I saw that happening.
Did you? Did you?
Yep, I did.
And then I'm just going to close the box because it's a little bit easier to manage, so that I want to make sure that it's centered.
Let me just eyeball it.
And I'm just eyeballing it.
And measure things to death here.
No. Make sure it's stuck down really well. And now you can still open it without destroying the beauty that is your box. Now, before you tie it all up and close it, don't forget...
Oh, and they're purple.
Chocolate! Because, you know, what gift is complete without some chocolate? All right. So now we're going to tie the ribbon. Everybody's favorite thing to do. I know it's mine.
Oh, Rachel.
Can you hear the sarcasm?
Don't be hard on the ribbon.
Well, this is a trick that I learned, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. That if you tie your ribbon upside down from what you want, from where you want the tails to go, then sometimes it works where the tails actually go that way.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you. And if you, I'm going to just pretend here and say that it kind of worked this time.
Yay.
Look at that. Little clapping, little straightening. Yay. So then we're going to add our little heart here. Again, it's got a little dimensional on it. Add our little heart. And I like to use the scissors and just give a little finishing.
Yeah, a little finishing thing.
Just don't cut your fingers. I've done that so many times.
I've gotten confused in the past. It's the folded side is always the middle. So you
The
cut
folded
down,
side is going to be the middle, and so you're going to want to cut
down towards the loose edges.
right.
Yeah.
Correct. In order to get.
I've ever done the opposite where you get a little point.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do it all the time, and then I just decide that it's going to be a little pointy.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's your card and your box. Oh, and our envelope. Gonna go back and stamp my envelope with the basic black ink and the little heart. Now with your envelopes, just make them cute. So you could just do one heart. I opted to do 3 in my sample, so I'll do 3 again. And then always, we love a little bit of washi, so I'm gonna use Stacked with Love washi. It's kind of like a heart. It's kind of like
a cross between a chevron
like a chevron and a heart. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm just going to put some across. You always want to be careful of your postal regulations because sometimes they don't like it when you get it too close to the edge. And so there you go. Now, and so here is your lovely little box and card and our envelope.
Yep.
I did 3 little hearts on that with a little bit of washi tape here.
I'll bet you know someone who's worth that little bit of effort.
I think I might know someone that's worth that. Hey, Sarah.
No.
Hey, Sarah.
No.
Would you like some
Is it
chocolates?
mine?
I would like to
Aw.
give this to you. Come here. Come here.
You're my best friend.
Yay! Love you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.